Good evening and thank you for joining us. The Ford government's decision to end mask mandates on March 21st is drawing mixed reviews here in Thunder Bay.
While many people we spoke to today were elated to no longer have to wear face coverings in public, a local teachers union rep criticized the reason behind the decision and noted the anxiety many educators are feeling. Corey Nordstrom has more.
Thunder Bay schools, like most public spaces, will no longer require masks to be worn as of the 21st. Rich Seeley with the Secondary School Teachers Federation represents a large number of local educators and says because they have the option to stay masked, he's expecting up to half of teachers to do so for the foreseeable future. He says the level of anxiety is lower among high school teachers due to the vaccination levels for that age group.
The teenagers in our public high schools here in the city, a lot of them did get vaccinated, at least with 2 doses. So I think that there was good uptake from what I've heard. And so there's comfort in that. Now, our members who are working with the younger students in elementary schools, our support staff members, they may not have the same comfort level because fewer of those kids will have gotten their shots.
Seeley adds that it would have been wise to schedule this a week or 2 after March break ends, with many people traveling over the holiday. The Lakehead School Board says they will support those who decide to continue to wear a mask and ask that others respect the choice. Some high schoolers we spoke with were thrilled to no longer have to wear face coverings for the majority of a 6-hour school day.
It's good to know that we're getting back to normal with getting rid of the masks. At least we want to keep people healthy, keep the cases down, but we obviously want to be back to normal.
Oh, I think it's awesome. I'm done with COVID. I just want to go back to normal.
JB Evans Management agrees that it feels like society is getting back to normal. Owner Andrew Morrow says they will base their masking policy for staff on a case-by-case basis. And as an example, Morrow says when he's doing measurements or working in close quarters with a customer, the mask will stay on.
We will continue to wear them as customers want us to. If a customer comes in masked and we're helping them, we'll wear a mask. It's all about comfort level, and we'll do whatever our customers are happy with.
The sudden end to nearly 2 years of masking at businesses will be a strange but welcome sight for at least one customer we spoke to, who is counting down the days until they can see the people they're talking to in full.
I think being able to see people's smiles again we need that as humans. We need to be able to see each other's emotions.
Corey Nordstrom, TBT News.
COVID-19 cases at the Regional Health Sciences Centre have risen slightly since yesterday. There are now 29 patients in hospital. That's an increase of 2. There's no change in the ICU, where there are still 9 people with the virus. The overall hospital occupancy rate is 101%, and the ICU occupancy rate has fallen below 82%.
More charges of attempted murder have been laid against a suspect in a Thunder Bay shooting, who then reportedly traded gunfire with OPP officers in the Hercote area. The original incident happened Tuesday afternoon on Forest Street. A man was sent to hospital with non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. The suspect and another person fled east in a black car. OPP attempted to stop the vehicle near Hercote, which then led to gunfire between the suspect and the officers. No one was struck by any bullets, and the vehicle wound up crashing over a snowbank. The suspect was later arrested after a massive search effort, along with the female passenger. 34-year-old Andrew Plummer from Brampton was initially charged by City Police with attempted murder and firearms charges for the shooting on Forest Street. Plummer is now facing 3 more counts of attempted murder and 4 counts of assaulting a peace officer for the incident with the OPP. The province's Special Investigation Unit has launched its own probe, which is mandatory whenever police fire their weapons at a suspect.
A serious 2-vehicle crash closed down a section of Water Street late this afternoon. Thunder Bay police say it all happened after a vehicle fled a police traffic stop. The crash occurred near the Pearl Street intersection. There was serious damage to one of the vehicles, which apparently had 4 people inside at the time. Witnesses say right after the collision, the 4 occupants were seen exiting the vehicle and fleeing the scene. City police have confirmed that 3 of them have been arrested so far, but there's no word on charges at this point. The other vehicle involved was a commercial van driven by Dave Renault. He was unharmed and explains what he saw.
I had a green light at the intersection, and as I was about halfway through the intersection, At the last second, I noticed this car right behind us here doing must have been 80 to 100 kilometers an hour. And it really didn't matter what I did at that point, whether I hit the brakes or I sped up. I tried to hit the gas to get out of the way, but the vehicle ended up T-boning me in the side of the vehicle.
Ambulances were also on scene, but it doesn't appear there were any injuries in the crash.
Details are now coming to light regarding a plane crash north of Sioux Lookout earlier this week. Fortunately, there were no injuries reported. The crash occurred Tuesday afternoon on the frozen surface of Lac Seul Lake. A rescue beacon was activated and a military search and rescue team was sent to assist. Parachuting technicians to the crash site within an hour of the incident. The pilot and passenger were both uninjured and were flown to Sioux Lookout via helicopter. The plane was a Cessna 208 operated by Bemidji Air, based in Sioux Lookout. The plane had left the Sioux Airport at around 1 p.m. and went down about 30 kilometers northwest of the airport. The Transportation Safety Board is investigating the cause of the crash.
OPP in Dryden have now confirmed the identity of those human remains found in a trailer park earlier this week. They belong to a man who's been missing since early January. 33-year-old Darren Bernard was last seen on December 31st and reported missing by family 12 days later. A major police and volunteer search effort was launched, but he was never found. On Monday, Dryden OPP received a tip about human remains found inside a vacant unit in the Hillcrest Trailer Park, which they've now matched to Bernard. A post-mortem will be carried out tomorrow to determine whether foul play could have been involved. The OPP's Criminal Investigation Branch and Forensic ID Unit are assisting the Office of the Chief Coroner.
The province of Ontario is trying to address gridlock concerns in the Greater Toronto Area. Colin DeMillo has the details of an ambitious transit plan.
Over the next decade, the population in the Greater Toronto-Hamilton area is expected to grow by 5 million people. And the Ford government says it wants to spend $82 billion over the next 10 years to build new highways and transit networks.
You see the gridlock on the highways. People don't want to be sitting in gridlock. We're going to make sure we continue building highways and roads and bridges.
Today, the government outlined new conceptual transit lines. The first, a light rail transit line connecting Burlington to Oshawa, running north of Toronto. The second, a new connection between the yet-to-be-built Ontario line and Pearson International Airport. But beyond a rough sketch, the government provided few details on timelines, cost, and the need for the new transit lines. And the government also could not reveal how much the new Highway 413 would actually cost, even though estimates peg it at $10 billion.
We're pouring money into infrastructure, making sure that people get from point A to point B.
And what about the actual time savings? The government claimed that in the year 2031, commuters would save 30 minutes on the 413. Today, they acknowledged even during peak rush hour, just 1,200 drivers would actually see those savings. At Queen's Park, Colin DeMello, CTV News.
Back here in our city, Thunder Bay City Council chambers will once again be open to the public in the coming weeks. The move is in line with the province's next step of reopening on March 21st, allowing residents to attend council meetings in person without masks. It's been nearly 2 years since the public has been allowed in council chambers. This past Monday marked the first time this year that all councillors were invited to attend in person. Some still opted to attend virtually, showing that not everyone is yet comfortable with coming back to City Hall. Plexiglass barriers will remain in place between council seats, but a full capacity gallery will be allowed. City Clerk Krista Power says they already have a lot of deputants who want to address council in person. She explains why the change will be made.
There's an expectation that things will be open. So again, while I think my office has worked really hard to ensure that there's access to local government and a lot of opportunities to either watch online, watch on local channels, or again to participate virtually, we know folks would potentially like to participate in person. So we want to make sure we offer all options available to the public so they can engage with their city council.
Power adds the one positive thing to come out of the pandemic is the high turnout at city ward and town hall meetings thanks to that online viewership. The city will move to a hybrid model for those meetings on April 1st.
Construction is now well underway on the new truck inspection station on Highway 1117 in Shunya. The $30 million project by the MTO has been in the works for more than a decade. Once completed, the weigh scales and inspectors will monitor big truck traffic from across the Northwest and beyond. Vasilios Bellos reports.
Planning for a new truck inspection station between Thunder Bay and Nipigon first began in 2011. The previous station and weigh scales near the Red Rock turnoff were demolished in preparation for the four-laning of Highway 1117. The new station will be located at this spot along the highway in Shunya. The project's total price tag is just over $30 million, and when it's done, will resemble this existing station in southern Ontario. The new weigh scales and other infrastructure will be capable of handling the ever-increasing transport traffic along the route. Rich Gambola is a contract services administrator for the Ministry of Transportation and explains more about the benefits of the finished product.
This configuration will help to ensure the safest options for the transports, both pulling in and pulling out of the truck inspection station, as well as it will minimize the impact to the traveling public. By ensuring our trucking industry is compliant with the current legislation, then this is one part of making sure that our highways are among the safest in North America.
The inspection station itself will be on the north side of Highway 1117, with truck parking on the south side. Once completed, the new inspection station will handle a significant amount of big truck traffic.
As Highway 1117 is the only road across Canada, the location of this truck inspection station will be instrumental in monitoring the local as well as the cross-country transports. This location allows MTO to inspect a wide variety of users and to ensure that they comply with the Ontario's rules and regulations.
The construction of the new truck inspection station is expected to last for about 2 years and is estimated to be up and running at the end of 2023. Vasilios Bellos, TBC News.
Officials with Roots to Harvest have announced they've reached their $2 million capital campaign goal thanks to significant support from Thunder Bay residents. Work has already begun to renovate the Monty Parks building, where they currently operate, into a community food center. The $2 million will allow the local nonprofit to buy the building and make significant improvements to the site, as well as amplify its programming. More than half of that funding, just over $1 million, came from local businesses, organizations, and residents. Executive Director Aaron Beagle believes the level of support stems from a desire to see the community grow and for everyone in the city to live a healthy life.
Those people live and work and their families are here, like they'll be able to see it and feel it and touch it. Like it's actually something that they're proud of. And that's what we want, like the people who are doing the work in here, the people who design the space, like it's all local. It'll be a beautiful space, it'll be a welcoming space, it will be an accessible space that I think our community will be proud of. I really do, and that's what we want people to walk in and be like, I belong here, I feel good when I come here, I feel welcomed, and I have something to offer and share.
The renovated space will house offices for partner organizations, a new community food market with subsidized fruits and veggies, and a dining area where elders and seniors will be served twice a week. Once the project is finished this summer, Roots to Harvest will join a network of 14 community food centers across Canada that address food advocacy, access, and education.
Students at Algonquin Avenue School joined others across the country this morning by chomping down on some local produce as part of the national Big Crunch campaign.
3, 2, 1,
The local Red Cross branch has been organizing Big Crunch events since 2017 in support of its student nutrition program, which provides healthy snacks to 85 schools in Thunder Bay and the district. Vice Principal Lisa McCarville says it's important to provide fruits and vegetables so that kids can engage in their learning on a full stomach.
Well, they absolutely love the healthier snacks, and to prove that, like I said, we have 4 boxes delivered every week, and we never waste. We are always asking for new vegetables and fruit every week, so they absolutely love it. Super delicious. We talk to the kids all the time about, you know, the difference between fruits and vegetables that we get from our local farmers and the different taste it has.
The carrots that the kids crunched on today were grown locally. McCarville says that they try whenever possible to get local produce in order to promote agricultural awareness.
Of course, local